All right, brothers and sisters. Once again, this is Brother Brandon Judah McDuffie. Brother Brandon Judah McDuffie, okay? And today we're going to be doing a lesson on concerning the Gentiles that were grafted in. That the book of Romans 11 chapter talks about. So let's get straight to the point. This is a short lesson. And once again, this is the topic on the Gentiles grafted in. Okay, the Gentiles that were grafted in, okay, is actually the northern kingdom of Israel. Okay, so, let me ease back out, and I'm going to show you the Gentiles that was grafted in concerning Romans chapter 11 are actually 4 all the way down to 12. Okay, this is the northern kingdom of Israel. Let me zoom in. Back out. All right, so the Gentiles that was grafted in the New Testament are the northern kingdom of Israel, and these primarily is the kingdom of Ephraim, which are the Indian tribes. All right, however, you have on the top the southern tribe, the southern kingdom. So on the top you have the southern kingdom, and then on the bottom you have the northern kingdom. Okay, we know that the 12 tribes of Israel was split in two. Okay, they were split into two when Solomon went into sin. All right, so right here we have the kings of Israel. Okay, when King David was ruling Israel, we know that he was ruling over all 12 tribes, and these are not the actual pictures of the biblical characters of the Bible. All right, these are whitewashed. The biblical characters such as Saul, David, and Solomon, these guys was not white. Okay, we know that the Edomites went out and replaced their images over the real biblical Hebrew Israelites. Okay, concerning Job 9 and 24. So we know that they are not actual white because the Hebrews come from out of region of color. Okay, and the Jews were black, so they're not white. So don't get caught up in these images. Just focus on the kings of Israel as of Saul, David, and Solomon. All right, so we know when David ruled the 12 tribes, he was ruling all the 12 tribes. When David was in kingship, he ruled over all the 12 tribes. But as soon as Solomon got rulership, which is his son, Solomon went into sin. Okay, so when Solomon went into sin, he caused the 12 tribes of Israel to be split in half. Okay, concerning Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which is the southern kingdom of Israel. Let me show you. All right. There's Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That is the southern kingdom of Israel. Okay. And then we have from beginning from 4 down to 12. These are the northern kingdom of Israel. So the kingdom of Israel was split into two separate kingdoms when Solomon went into sin. Okay. All right. So the kings of Israel, like I said, when Solomon went into sin, Rehoboam got 2 tribes, and Jeroboam got 10 tribes. Okay. And we know the only tribe that stayed with Judah are Benjamin and Levi. So eventually it turns out to be Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, which are the southern kingdom, and the northern kingdom, which are the Indian tribes. So you have to get familiar with that understanding, because you will not understand what's going on concerning the kingdoms in the Holy Bible. All right. So like I said, we're going to be focusing on the Gentiles being grafted in concerning Romans the 11th chapter. All right. And they are actually the northern kingdom. They are not other nations of people. All right. So let me show you really fast what I'm talking about. All right. Excuse me. Concerning the table of nations. All right. That was grafted in the New Testament are actually Israelite foreigners. Okay, those are the Gentiles in the New Testament. The Gentiles in the New Testament are not from 2 down to 18, okay? It's not from 2 down to 18. Those are not the Gentiles in the New Testament that Paul taught. Paul didn't teach the white man, the East Indians, the Assyrians, the Aramites, the Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, Ethiopians, all these other nations, the Greeks. Paul did not teach, okay? Paul only taught Israelite foreigners, which is the northern kingdom of Israel concerning the New Testament, and they were called Gentiles. And this is where a lot of people get a misconception and a misunderstanding, because when you see Gentiles in the New Testament, people thinking that it's talking about from 2 to 18. They thinking that it's talking about these nations, but it's actually talking about number 1. It's actually talking about number 1, but who out of number 1 is talking about the northern kingdom of Israel that was given the Most High got rid of the northern kingdom and wrote the northern kingdom a bill of divorce concerning 3 and 8 of Jeremiah. He wrote the northern kingdom a bill of divorce, and he cast them off, and he didn't even consider the northern kingdom his children anymore. But however, he showed mercy upon Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which are the southern kingdom, concerning Hosea chapter 1, and I want to say in 7. So let's get into that. I'm just letting you see that the northern kingdom were the Gentiles that were grafted in the New Testament, all right? So I'm going to show you concerning Hosea, I want to say 1 and 6. I think that's so. Hosea 1 and 6. So let's get that. Just a quick lesson, y'all. I hope you can see this. Hosea 1 and 6. Don't know if you can see this really good. It says, as she conceived again, it's talking about the prostitute, okay? That Hosea was appointed to marry. And she conceived again and bare a daughter, and the Most High Power said unto him, call her name Laruhamah, for I will have no more mercy upon the house of Israel. And who did he say? Who did the Most High say that I will have no more mercy upon? It was the house of Israel. Okay, the house of Israel. The Most High say I will have no more mercy upon, but I will utterly take them away. Why? Because the house of Israel went into idolatry, and they was worshiping different types of idols. Okay, they was doing idol worshiping all different types of idols. Okay, and this is what separated the Most High from the northern kingdom. However, he did show mercy to the southern kingdom, which is Judah. So who is the southern kingdom again? The southern kingdom is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, and these are the Negroid tribes, which are the Judites today would be the American blacks. The Benjamites today would be the West Indians, which are the Jamaicans. And the Levites today, the Levitical priests, would be the Haitians. Okay, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the southern kingdom of Israel. And this is exactly the kingdom that he showed mercy to. However, he did not show mercy to the northern kingdom. Okay, which is from number 4 down to 12. Those are the Indian tribes that he did not show mercy to. Okay, how do we know this? Look at Hosea 1 and 7. The Most High says, Hosea 1 and 7. It says, but I will have mercy upon the house of Judah. Who did the Most High say that he will have mercy upon? The house of Judah, okay? And will save them. So we can see that the Most High had mercy on the house of Judah. But however, in Hosea 1 and 6, he says that I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel, but I will utterly take them away. Let me give you something else concerning that the Most High cast off the northern kingdom. All right. Let's look at Jeremiah 3 and 8. I want to say, give you more edification, showing you that he cast off the northern kingdom. All right. Jeremiah 3 and 8. this says, and I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel, which is the northern kingdom, committed adultery. They committed adultery. How did they commit adultery? By not being faithful to the Most High, because they went off and they served different types of idols of different countries and regions and nations. All right. So they was into idol worship really heavy, and the Most High cast away the northern kingdom. Let's go back to Jeremiah 3 and 8. It says, backsliding Israel committed adultery. What did the Most High say? Right? Zoom in a little bit. He said, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. See that? So the Most High cast away the northern kingdom, put her away and gave her a bill of divorce. It says her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but also went and played a harlot. So Judah feared not, but went and played a harlot also. But the Most High didn't put away the kingdom of Judah. Concerning Hosea 1 and 7. We showed you that he had mercy upon Judah. However, he did not have mercy upon the house of Israel. So they actually became a wild olive tree or a wild olive branch, okay, in the Most High eyes. And this is exactly what Romans 11 is talking about when it talks about the Gentiles being a wild olive tree or a wild olive branch was grafted in. Those are the northern kingdom of Israel that he divorced. He later would reconcile the northern kingdom to the southern kingdom. How would he do that? By sending Christ to die for the northern kingdom, which was called a lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay, so concerning Hosea 1 and 6, the Most High say he didn't have mercy upon the house of Israel, but he utterly took them away. So the northern kingdom was cast out of his sight. However, the kingdom of Judah, which is the southern kingdom, he showed mercy upon, and that's why salvation is of the Jews first and then the Gentiles. Okay. So it's through Christ that he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel to redeem them back into the fold again. All right. It was through Christ that the northern kingdom was accepted. It was through him that wild olive branch would be grafted back in. All right, that would be grafted in among the Jews. Excuse me. How do we know this, people? All right, let's look at St. Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 5. All right. That's St. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 5. And we're going to show you that Christ came for the northern kingdom. All right. Don't know if you see this, but just try to back on with me. I will read it before you. St. Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Yahawashi sent forth and commanded them. He's talking about the 12 disciples. They commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles. See? Excuse me. So he said, don't go into the way of the Gentiles. Who are the Gentiles? The Gentiles that he was telling the disciples not to go and encounter and not to go in their way was 2 down to 18. The white man, Elamites, Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, Ethiopians, Egyptians, and any other nation of people that are not Israelites. Christ was saying, do not go into the way of the Gentiles concerning St. Matthew 10 and 5. But he said, he's saying, do not go into any city of the Samaritans neither, because they basically the Samaritans were Ethiopians transplanted by the Assyrian king. All right. So he said, do not go into anywhere the Samaritans enter ye not. But Matthew 10 and 6, it says, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And who is that lost sheep of the house of Israel? The lost sheep of the house of Israel is the northern kingdom, okay? Is the northern kingdom, which were called Gentiles. They are really Israelite Gentiles or Israelite foreigners, all right? Some people say, well, concerning the Bible, that there's nowhere in the Bible that Israelites are called Gentiles. All right, but I'm going to prove you wrong on that too. I'm going to show you that there are in the Bible, that there are passages in the Bible where the Israelites were called Gentiles. All right, and I'm going to show you that the Israelites were called Gentiles according to the Holy Bible. All right, let's take a look at St. John 7:35. It's going to show you that the Israelites was called Gentiles in the New Testament. And they were the ones that was grafted in concerning Romans 11, the northern kingdom of Israel. So let's prove that the Gentiles in the New Testament were the Israelites from the northern kingdom. All right, Dan said the Jews among themselves. This is St. John 7:35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go that we shall not find him? They's talking about Christ, because Christ was telling the Jews that he's going to a place that you will see him no more. Okay, and then the Jews said among themselves, whither will he go that we shall not find him? Now, listen closely. It says, will he go into the dispersed? Okay, what is the dispersed? What is the dispersed? Okay, because it says, will he go to the dispersed? The dispersed are scattered Israelites, all right, that were scattered out into different nations and countries and regions. It said, will he go into the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles? So who are the dispersed? The dispersed is who? The dispersed are the Gentiles. What type of Gentiles? Israelite Gentiles that were dispersed in different countries and regions. Okay, and this is St. John 7:35. So the dispersed, which were the northern kingdom of Israel that was scattered out into different lands, were called Gentiles. All right. Okay, and you can look in the apocryphal books as well. I want to say it's out of 1st or 2nd Maccabees, where it talks about that the Israelites was forced to leave their customs, and the Greek decreed a law that if any Israelite professed to be a Jew, that they would be slaughtered, they would be killed. So you had Israelites that was calling themselves Greeks. You had Israelites that was calling themselves Romans. Okay, you had Israelites that were also speaking the Grecian language. You had Israelites also that were speaking the Italian language. Okay, so those Greeks in the New Testament, or Grecians you can say, are actually the northern kingdom of Israel. All right, so let's keep it moving, y'all. All right, so let's go to Romans 11 and 18. We're gonna wrap it up. Just a short lesson, like I said. Romans 11 and 18. And I want to go over this because Romans 11 and 18, it says, boast not against the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. Okay, who is the root? The root is Christ, all right? The root is Christ. That's the root, okay? That's the root. How do we know that Christ is concerned the root? All right, we will get right back into that, but I want to go to Revelation, the 22nd chapter, and I want to say the 14th verse concerning this root. We're going to show you that the root is Christ, that it says, do not boast. All right, now, Revelation 22 and 14. Let's take a look at Revelation 22 and 16. That's what I want to get. Revelation 22 and 16. And I, Yahawashi, have sent my angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. Yahawashi said what? I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright morning star. So who is the root? Yahawashi, okay? Who is the root? The Mashiach, the Mashiach, all right? The son of the Most High God. That's the root. Okay, so let's go back to Romans 11 and 18. Boast not against the branches. But if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. So we got to find out who are the branches, okay? Because he said, do not boast against the branches. So who are the branches concerning Romans 11 and 18? Well, let me show you who are the branches, all right? Concerning Romans 11 and 18, all right? Let's go to St. John. Go to St. John 7 and 35, I want to say. No, St. John 15 and 5, excuse me. This is concerning the branches. St. John 15 and 5, because it says, do not boast against the branches. St. John 15 and 5. It says, I am the vine, ye are the branches. So who is Christ talking to? The Jews, all right? He says, I am the vine, ye are the branches, all right? He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing. So Christ said, I'm the vine, and he told the Jews that they are the branches. So let's go back to Romans 11 and 18, and you can see the branches are the Jews. So let's paraphrase this. 11 and 18. We're going to paraphrase it. So it says, boast not against the Jews, which are the branches, concerning John 15 and 5. Boast not against the Jews, which are the branches, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root. Who is the root? The root is Christ, concerning Revelation, the 22nd chapter. And I want to say the 16th verse, what we just read. That's the root, okay? So we got understanding on that now, all right? Okay? So that's the root when he says, but if thou boast, thou bearest not the root, because he was telling the northern kingdom, if you start boasting, you don't bear Christ, but the root D. But Christ bared you. How did Christ bear you? It's just the grace of the Most High God that Christ died for you, northern kingdom Israelites. You better be glad that he came to give you salvation, that he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So don't boast, because if you begin to boast, you don't bear Christ. Okay? If anything, Christ bared you, so don't boast against Christ. All right? Don't boast against the Jews. All right? Because we know that the branches, which are the Jews, were given salvation first. Okay? How do we know that? I'm going to show you that as well. That they were given salvation first. That they should not boast against the branches. And we're going to close out after this. All right? So I'm going to show you this. Just bear along with me. And your patience possess ye your souls. So let's see. All right, let's look at Zechariah 12 and 7. That's Zechariah 12 and 7. And we're going to show you exactly why Romans 11 and 18 say do not boast against the natural branches. Excuse me. Zechariah 12 and 7. Let's see what that reads. Zechariah 12 and 7. All right, let's go up. Zechariah 12 and 7. Don't know if you can see it, but we're going to try. It says, and the Most High also shall save the tents of Judah first. So the Most High shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah, and that's boasting. So the Most High will save who first? The tents of Judah, and therefore that's why salvation is to the Jews first, then the Gentiles, okay? So let's go back to Romans 11 and 18, and that's why I was saying do not boast against the Jews, which are the branches, all right? Because salvation was given to the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, but salvation wasn't given to the northern kingdom until a later time to come, all right? Because we looked at that concerning Hosea 1 and 6. Salvation wasn't given to the northern kingdom because what did he do to the northern kingdom? He wrote the northern kingdom a bill of divorce and divorced the northern kingdom concerning Jeremiah 3 and 8 also. So salvation wasn't given to the northern kingdom until Christ came on the scene for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and those lost sheep were considered the Gentiles in the New Testament that Paul taught. All right? Those were the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay? So how do we know that? All right? Let's go on down and we're going to close out. How do we know that? Because it says concerning Romans 11 and 26, it says, and so all Israel shall be saved. So all Israel. Why I say all Israel shall be saved? It's talking about, let's go back when it says all Israel shall be saved. Why it says that? It's talking about, when it's all Israel shall be saved, it's talking about both kingdoms, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, as united back into one fold again. They will all be saved and they will become one nation again. All right? That's what it's talking about when it says all Israel shall be saved. Concerning Romans 11 and 26, talking about both kingdoms shall be saved. So if you don't have no idea that these Gentiles that Romans 11 are talking about, you may be skeptical and still say that they can't be the northern kingdom of Israel. This would kill everything. Romans 11 and 26, when it says, so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. Let's look at also Romans 11 and 30. All right, it says, for Romans 11 and 30, for as ye in time past have not believed God. It's talking about the northern kingdom. Ye in time past did not believe God. Why did the northern kingdom did not believe God? Because the Most High gave them a bill of divorce. He cast them out of his sight. Okay? Concerning Jeremiah 3 and 8, and concerning Hosea 1 and 6, I want to say. He gave them a bill of divorce. So they didn't believe him after he cast them off. But now it says Romans 11 and 30, for as ye in time past have not believed God, ye have now obtained mercy through their unbelief. Who unbelief? The unbelief of the Pharisees and the scribes and the chief priests, which were the Jews. So ye have now obtained mercy through the Jews' unbelief. And this was set up. The southern kingdom was set up to fall so the northern kingdom can come in. All right. So they would make one fold again. All right. So let's look at Romans 9 and 24. I want to look at that and show you did something as well. Let's look at Romans 9 and 24. And I'm going to show you that the Gentiles in the New Testament are the northern kingdom. All right. Romans 9 and 24. All right. Okay, we at Romans 9 and 24. Let's see what this reads. It says, even us whom he had called, not of the Jews only, not of the southern kingdom only, but also the Gentiles, the northern kingdom, which are the Israelite Gentiles. Okay, so these Gentiles in Romans 9 and 24 are not other nations concerning the white man 2 to 18 primarily. These Gentiles are not white man, Chinese, Japanese, Ethiopians, Egyptians, North Africans, and so forth. These Gentiles concerning Romans 9 and 24 are the Israelite Gentiles. Okay, there's two types of Gentiles. There are Gentiles that are not Hebrew Israelites that did not come from Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And there are also Gentiles that were Israelites taking upon customs of other nations of people. Okay, so you have to understand there are two types of Gentiles. And concerning Romans 9:24, these Gentiles are the northern kingdom of Israel. That's why I said, even us whom he had called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. How we know that these are Israelite Gentiles? Let's go to Hosea. I want to say, and we're just trying to wrap everything up. Let's go to Hosea 1 and 10. And I'm going to show you that these Gentiles concerning Romans 9:24 are Israelites. All right. So let's go to Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. This Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of who? The children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. It shall come to pass that in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people. Okay? Because what did God do to the northern kingdom? He divorced the northern kingdom concerning Jeremiah 3 and 8, and he didn't call them his people anymore. All right? Because you can see right here, I'm going to show you something else as well. It says that in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, it says, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. So when Christ comes to redeem the northern kingdom, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. All right. So you can see right here, concerning Hosea 1 and 9, then said the Most High Power, call his name Leomi, for ye are not my people. He's talking about the northern kingdom. For ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. So what did he do to the northern kingdom? he cast the northern kingdom off, and he did not call them his children anymore. But there will come a point of time when he will send Christ to redeem the northern kingdom of Israel. Okay, then in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. So concerning Hosea 1 and 10 is actually the precept to Romans 9 and 24, when it says, even he called not of the Jews only, not of the southern kingdom, but also of the Gentiles, which are the northern kingdom. As he said in O.C., see that? As he said in O.C., what is O.C.? Hosea. We just read Hosea 1 and 10. So that's the precept to Romans 9 and 25. Hosea 1 and 10, as he said in O.C., which is Hosea, I will call them my people, which were not my people, because who was not his people, the northern kingdom, and her beloved, which was not my beloved. See, Romans 9 and 26. And it shall come to pass that in that place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, who was not called the people of God, concerning Hosea, who was not called the people of God. Let's go back. Okay, let's go back to Hosea 1 and 10. All right. So, who was not his people? Concerning Hosea 1 and 10, it says, yet the number of the children of Israel. Okay. The children of Israel. Okay. Concerning Hosea 1 and 10, it was said unto them, ye are not my people. So let's go back to Romans 9, and I want to say 26. So it shall come to pass that in that place where it was said unto them, who? The Israelites, concerning Hosea 1 and 10. All right? That's why the Bible said precept must be upon precept. Ye are not my people, the northern kingdom of Israel, there shall they be called the children of the living God. All right, so who are the Gentiles? Concerning Romans 9 and 24, they are the northern kingdom of Israel, the kingdom of Ephraim. All right. So I hope you understand. That's why Christ came, for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right. Now I'm gonna give you biblical proof that those Gentiles right here, that was not called the children of God, it was set up to be that way because of their idolatry. I'm gonna show you something else. Let's look at Isaiah, I want to say 7 and 8. Look at Isaiah 7 and 8. Isaiah 7 and 8. This is prophecy to let you know that the northern kingdom would come to a point that they would not be called the children of God. Isaiah 7 and 8. For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is risen. And within 65 years, which is 65 years, okay, shall Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people. So, excuse me for not putting the camera on it. Let's go back up. For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is risen. And within 65 years, which is 65 years, that shall Ephraim be broken. They was broken. And they was broken off of the olive tree, and they became a wild branch. That Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people. So Ephraim was broken off, that it was, and it was a prophecy that this would happen to the northern kingdom, which is the kingdom of Ephraim, that they would be broken off, and they would be broken off, and that broken off branch became that wild olive branch. Concerning Romans 11 and 17, that wild olive tree that was grafted in was the northern kingdom. You know, because Christ came to give salvation to the northern kingdom. He came to give salvation to the northern kingdom. So with that, I want to give you one more verse, and then I want to close out. So we know that Christ came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which is the northern kingdom. How do we know that? I want to give you this. Let's look at St. John 11 and 51. St. John 11 and 51. To show you that Christ came for the northern kingdom, which are the Gentiles in the New Testament. St. John 11 and 51. That's why Isaiah 28:10 says precept must be upon precept, line upon line. This is how you get proper understanding of the Bible. So this is actually a prophecy of Caiaphas. Okay? This is a prophecy of Caiaphas concerning St. John 11:51. Alright? Because it says concerning St. John 11:49, and one of them named Caiaphas, being a high priest, that same year said unto them. So Caiaphas is giving them a prophecy what will happen concerning St. John 11:51. And this spake he not of himself, because he was in the spirit, but being a high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahawashi should die for that nation. So who should Yahawashi come and die for? The northern kingdom of Israel, the same kingdom that was given a bill of divorce from God and cast off. Yahawashi would come to reconcile the northern kingdom. Okay, let's look at 11:52. And not for that nation only, because why? He came for also the southern kingdom, but primarily the northern kingdom. But that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. Okay, the children of God that were scattered abroad are the Israelite foreigners that was calling themselves Gentiles in the New Testament. So those are the children of God that were scattered abroad. They were the northern kingdom of Israel, calling themselves Gentiles. Okay, and Caiaphas prophesied that Yahawashi should die. See? Okay. All right. See, concerning 11:51, and he spoke of them not of himself, but being a high priest, that he prophesied that Yahawashi should die for that nation, that he should die for the northern kingdom of Israel, that was calling themselves Gentiles, that became that wild olive tree that was broken off. All right, and not of that nation only, okay, but that also he should gather together in one. What? When it says in one, it's talking about the two nations, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, as being one nation again, the children of God that were scattered abroad. So who was scattered abroad? The Gentiles, which are the Israelite foreigners that was calling themselves Gentiles. The Israelite foreigners, the northern kingdom of Israel, that was calling themselves Gentiles. They were scattered abroad. How we know that? Let's go to James 1:1. How do we know the northern kingdom that was scattered abroad was calling themselves Gentiles? How we know they was Israelites? Because James 1:1 says, a servant of God and the Lord Yahawashi, to the 12 tribes that were scattered abroad. So who was scattered abroad? The 12 tribes. So who are the Gentiles that Paul taught in the New Testament? These are the northern kingdom of Israel, which are the 10 Indian tribes, which is Israelites. All right. So I hope you got proper understanding on that. And like I said once again, this is Brother Brandon Judah Matt Duffy, and I wanted to clear up that. So now you got proper understanding on who are the Gentiles in the New Testament that Paul taught, and they are the northern kingdom of Israel. And I want to say all praises due to Yahawashi, and I just want to say, brothers and sisters in the truth, keep the faith and study to show yourself approval concerning 2 Timothy 2:15. And with all praises, I want to say shalom.